Yo, what's going on, boys? It's your man back with another sweet figure review. Now, up on the platter today, we got the Neca SDCC Walmart exclusive alien. This guy, well, glow in the dark alien actually. This is a pretty great figure, and it was. I only got this one out of the two they released because for some reason this guy I got him twice, but I didn't even find one of the Predators, so don't even get me started. But moving this man out of the way to bring the box in, we got the nice Alien Classic poster on the side here, and it's actually all textured and it glows in the dark. All the Alien on the side. The back of the box got some stuff that glows in the dark, like the outside rings of the pictures and the Alien thing again. On this side, Alien glows. On the top, the Alien glows. Sadly, nothing on the bottom glows, but I think it all looks very good. The box is actually pretty big, and this one, the stick thing actually broke off, the Velcro to close it. But looking at the inside of the box, very cool. Nice display of everything you get. And as always, these NECA boxes are nice. They always seem to add extra value to the figure. Even though it's not too expensive, it's only very, very hard to find. Bringing this guy back in to talk about the paint and sculpt. I think the paint and sculpt on this guy is it's quite amazing. Sorry, I keep hitting this egg over here. It's in the way of everything, but the paint and sculpt on this guy, I think it looks great. And I think it really has an accurate look to the alien in the movie if he was bright green in the movie, which he's not, but he couldn't glow, so that's something this thing's got. But the sculpt, there's actually really good high detail all over the figure. On the legs, these kind of ridges are all sculpted in, and they're put a nice wash on them so they stick out. The rib cage looks great with the weird tubes coming down. Don't know what this man's made of, but it looks pretty good. Got those tubes on the back. I don't even know what that is. And the tail, as always, is looking good. NECA always seems to know what they're doing with monster tails. Like Godzilla's always pretty good. And the figures that go along in the Godzilla line are pretty good. But I think they just keep improving. But that's not for right now, because we need to talk about articulation. The articulation on this figure is actually, it very much surprised me when I first got it. I wasn't expecting any of it to be so good. But at the head, he looks up. You can't really look up because his bean head hits this, but he looks down pretty good, which is what he's going to need because he has a 7-foot tall alien stature. At the head here, he's got these two kind of tubes that connect to something in the back, but they don't matter that much because they're long enough to stretch when you turn the head so you can still get the articulation. There's a little bit of a pivot and a little bit of back and forth, a little side to side. I wouldn't push it because those tubes, if you do overdo it, they will break probably. I'm not sure, mine didn't, but they probably could. At the arm, comes up to about 90 with the body. Got a nice rotation over here. No bicep swivel, but at the elbow here, which is double jointed, it has a rotation at both the top and the bottom piece, which it's not very necessary, but it's always good to have in case. At the hand, there's a hinge that goes up and down, and of course it swivels. At the chest here, you got a nice ball joint in the diaphragm that you can get a lot of nice range with. He goes pretty far back, and you can hunch over really nice for all them good poses. Before I miss it, the jaw here has some articulation. It actually opens and closes, and you got the little dude that comes flying out. He's just kind of like held in there by if you have the jaw over it, so if you don't want it to hang out, you can't have the mouth open at all, because even just the slightest little bit of being open, he just flies out. And when I first got this figure, the little piece in there was, I think they glue it in at first because it was stuck inside the mouth, and I had to pry it out, but after that it went pretty smoothly. Back to the articulation. At the legs down here, he kicks forward very far if you want to have him kicking, or what I use this for is you can get him in a good crawling pose, like on the ceiling or something. It actually does kick back very far because this crotch piece is made of a very flexible rubber. Just don't overextend it or leave it in these poses for long because you'll warp the little piece and it won't fit very well. But he has a very tight swivel at the hip. At the knee there's also a swivel, and there's a double jointed knee that works very, very good. At the ankle there's a nice hinge that it could be better, but it does have a little bit of ankle pivot. And of course the toe joint. You can't have a figure without a toe joint. That is literally a necessity. But planting this man back, trying not to knock everything over. For the accessories he comes with, I think it's pretty good. He comes with this, I think these are the face huggers right here. It's a very nice kind of clear plastic. Let me actually get this out the way so you can see this, man. It's a very nice, like, clear green plastic, and they put a wash over it to accentuate all the nice little details and all the good sculpting all along the, I don't even know what you'd call that, the head of it, all down the tail. And there is a bendy wire in there, so you can pose this whatever way you want, and you shouldn't really need to worry because the Neca figures, they do a really good job at keeping like bendy wire good. Like the plastic they put around it doesn't break very easily. The fingers are also kind of bendy, but I'd be careful with that. It's not, looks like it's not meant to be bent. The next accessory he comes with is the little worm man. This is one of the best accessories I think he comes with because it's just so funky looking. The only problem is it's small and it doesn't stand up very well, so you could lose it. This man has been missing 4 times right now. He actually gets knocked over by the big man many, many times. He also has a bendy wire tail. Nice. You can pose him doing whatever you want, slithering around or something. And then the last accessory he comes with, it's actually the egg. And they're 2 different pieces. The kind of base and then the egg piece slots in. And it doesn't stick very well, so if you hold it from the top, it usually just flies right out the bottom. Oh, there you go. And so be careful when you're picking it up because you don't want to have, like, I usually do it where it's like that and you got this guy flying out of it. If you pick it up, it'll fall out and this guy will dangle and the little worm actually falls right through. And that's how I lost him the first time, because I was using the egg as kind of like a storage unit. But I think the detail and the paint on this egg is really, really good. All of this glows in the dark, so every piece of it glows, and it does glow pretty good. I don't think there's going to be a way I can showcase that here, but I've seen it at night in the room. It glows very bright, and it's kind of annoying, so just keep that in mind when you get it and where you put it on the display. But the base is really good looking. It has all these tendrils coming out the side, kind of look like squid arms. It's like alien arms. Oh, whoa, who would have guessed that? But it looks really good. It's all textured and sculpted. Even this base piece right here in the middle is all sculpted and painted. Looked really good. And the top of the egg piece here, it actually does look pretty gross. I like the detail they put into it to make it look like a slimy egg. It looks very good. The inside doesn't have any paint. It's just bright green, but I don't know if you're going to be looking in on the inside, because who knows what could be in there. Oh, just hold up. There it is. Egg. So he's got some nice accessories. I don't know what more they could have included, so I think it's very good that they included anything. Oh, this man is kind of hard to stand up. That's usually how it goes with big lanky figures with big tails and everything. But coming in to compare him here, a couple of comparisons we got are Neca Jason Voorhees, the purple one, of course. I think it's purple, might be blue. And then we got the remake Pennywise from It. Let me actually zoom out a little bit here, because this guy is huge. He's not even standing up straight. All about that posture. I think he scales great, because the aliens are supposed to be huge, they're supposed to be big, but I think they did a good job with keeping him skinny and thin, so he looks kind of gross, which is, I guess, that's a good way to describe it. But I think it scales very well with just every like horror figure. Like I said with the last one, the Scream figure, it'll fit very well if you just have a horror display. Like I'd have a horror display like that. I just have all the horror movie icons, and you just fling them on one part of the display, and it looks great together. Especially all the NECA figures, because they all fit together well, even though they fit together well as a genre and just figures in general, which is great. And that's probably my favorite part about the NECA figures is you can get any one of them and they all fit together well. I'm getting these guys out of here, getting them out the way. Just for some more random comparisons, we got a Marvel Legends Ghost Rider, an unseen one, and a classic not Ghost Freddy, Golden Freddy. I'm not sure this one is as good as like the Ghost Face with the just kind of putting it in any random display, because he looks very funky next to these figures, but these figures don't really go well together at all. So I don't think, unless you're looking to make a display with a figure like this, I would say don't get it, because the price went up too. He's somewhere around $50 now, which isn't that much more than retail, but still, you could get pretty much two NECA figures for the price of that, and that's a lot more deal. So unless you're making a horror display, I'd say don't get this guy. Unless, of course, you're an Alien fan, then of course you gotta get him. It's a great figure. But coming in for some final thoughts on this man, we'll zoom in a little bit. Why not? Bring him in. I think this is a very good figure, and for the time it came out, if you got it for retail, it's definitely worth it. There's a lot of value you get in it. You could pose it around, all the different accessories you could do with it, all the different displays you could set up with him, and the egg, and this man, of course, can never forget him. And I think the detail on it is very good too. It's the paint and sculpt is like that of like a very expensive figure, more $60-$70 figure kind of quality here. And I think that really makes this guy worth it. So thank you guys for watching. I'm glad I'm keeping up with the videos. At least once a week is what I'm trying to do. If not, maybe twice if you were seeing it. But I don't know about that. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time when Godzilla beats Kong.